Luna, and it's been a while. I'm really sorry for my absence. I have just been really busy. I am still a student, so I am just trying to catch up with all the work that I've got to do. And so I haven't really been posting on my channel as regularly as I wanted, but I just went through some of the comments because I haven't been active on my channel at all, really, and just reading some of your comments and some of the positive feedback that I've gotten in this channel has been so encouraging to me and just really sweet, and just made me feel like I wanted to do something again and just post a quick video. My last few videos were just like monthly kind of like predictions, and I didn't want to be the channel that posted only monthly predictions, which at the time was kind of all I had the time to do. So yeah, today's video is going to be about what makes you unique, and I will show you the stones in a second, but I just wanted to put a few disclaimers out there. I haven't planned on being very consistent over the past month. I am hoping to be more consistent with posting videos in the new year, and I really do value the support of all the people that do watch my channel and my videos, and all the new subscribers while I've been gone. But yeah, you'll probably hear from me more consistently in the new year, and I realize that none of you have actually requested this video, but I am planning to make videos on all of your suggestions. I've just got like a few other videos I want to make first, and I will get the ball rolling on that. And secondly, with my paid readings, so another reason why I've kind of been absent is because I've been doing more paid readings, and they end up taking a lot of time, and as a result I have raised my prices, so you can find them below in the description box. But also, I know I've written 10 minutes and 15 minutes as a reference. They always end up being a little longer. They usually end up being about like 20 minutes long. You guys ask like questions that just need really long answers. I'm really sorry, so just bear that in mind, and that's kind of also why I'm raising the prices, so I'm really sorry about that. But you know, like, a girl has got to like earn money, right? So yeah, I think those are my disclaimers out of the way. No, another disclaimer I have is that I will be getting a tripod at some point, so my videos will be hopefully less shaky in the future. I kept on like ordering one, and then like it just, I don't know, like it would always mess up, so I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, we will get into this reading. I just wanted to give a little shout out. It's finally Sagittarius season in tropical astrology. If you're into sidereal, I can never say it, Vedic astrology, it is Scorpio season, which is my birthday season. So, you know, like any Sagittarian slash like sidereal Scorpios, hi, happy birthday. And I hope this is a wonderful season for all of you guys. So, okay, that is it, and I will get into your reading. So let me show you the stones. We have pile 1 with Jasper Mookaite. Beautiful Jasper Mookaite. I love her so much. Dalmatian Jasper is pile 2. We have pile 3 with Angelite. Please focus. Okay, it's not gonna focus. I am getting a new camera too, so hopefully the content quality will be much better. We also have, what is this? Sunstone. We have Sunstone for pile number 3, and hopefully it will focus. There we go. So yeah, if you are an old viewer, then you know the drill. Just take a few minutes to kind of like meditate, pause, kind of see which stone calls out to you the most. It could be the one that catches your eye first, or just the one that you feel the most drawn to. If you need a little more time, feel free to pause the video, but without further ado, I will get into it. So let's begin. So if you pick the Jasper Mookaite, I will explain what the stone is good for. So Jasper Mookaite is said to be a very grounding and healing stone in that it's really good for your immune system. It's also said to be really good for kind of delaying the aging process, which is something that I just heard and found out about, which is really cool. I know it's a stone that's associated with beauty because if your immune system is working well, then that kind of shows in your like external appearance. I'm sorry, I haven't done one of these videos in so long. My speech has just become like 10 times worse. I'm so out of practice. But yeah, anyway, Jasper Mookaite is really good for grounding yourself. It's really good for just feeling like you're healing yourself. I don't know how to articulate it. So let's just see how I do with this reading and if I'm any better at just speaking. So again, the question was, what makes you unique? And I am using the Everyday Witch Tarot because I just thought I'd simplify it, you know, like, just for the sake of this video. We'll bring out, like, you know, multiple decks in the future, in future videos, but for now, I just wanted to do a quick short reading, which won't be short if I keep on rambling. So let's get into your cards. You have the Six of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Hierophant, you have the Nine of Cups, you have the Six of Swords, and I'm going to put one down here. You have the Page of Wands. Okay, I'm not going to put it down there. All right, so there are your 6 cards. Please ignore the glare. All right, so let me just get into star signs. Of course, this can apply to anyone. Don't take this as a kind of like, you know, if your sign isn't mentioned, it's not for you. That's not the case. We all have different energies and different placements within our natal chart, so this could be pertaining to your sun, moon, rising, Venus, literally any planet you can think of in our solar system. So basically just 9. But it's, don't worry about like the star signs too much. So we've got a lot of wands energy. We've got we've got 2 wands energy. So wands are fire signs, so that's Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. You have the Hierophant, which represents Taurus. You got cups energy, which represents water signs, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And you've also got swords energy, which is air signs, so Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So basically all of the signs, or all of the elements, are represented here. So anyway, let's get into your reading. So where do I even start? Okay, I'm gonna first off say that, like, for me, I'm getting a lot of fiery energy. I would not be surprised if you're a Sagittarius, so if you are, happy birthday. But yeah, I'm just getting a lot of kind of independent energy from you guys. So one of the things that makes you unique is your independence. You're kind of like, it's not that you're like an introverted person, you may be, but you have a good network of friends. You have people that do want to spend time with you, but there's also this sense to you where it's just kind of like you're doing your own thing. You're always on your own path. You're always, you know, just kind of like in your own bubble. There's almost a sense of kind of like untouchability about you, but it's not the kind of untouchability where it's like you're an intimidating person and you're someone that people think twice about approaching. It's actually the opposite. You're very warm and very kind of welcoming. There's this Aquarian energy to you as well, which, you know, I've got that in my chart as well. I'm a Sagittarius sun with an Aquarius rising. So yeah, there's just, I mean, Aquarius is the sign of, like, ultimate sign of uniqueness, in my opinion. But yeah, you have this very warm, welcoming, but also fiercely independent energy to you. You're someone that doesn't get tied down. I wouldn't be surprised if you've traveled a lot. I'm getting that a lot from the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands literally talks about moving on to situations, new situations, and going to new places and trying new things. And the Page of Wands as well. I mean, the like visuals over there. You got someone that's kind of walking away and traveling and kind of like on their own adventure, and that's the kind of like vibe I get from you. You're very hard to like tie down. I wouldn't be surprised if people admire you. You have a lot of people that have crushes on you, but they will approach you but will never let you know, because it's just kind of like, well, I know that this person is not the kind of person to settle down. That may or may not be true, but that's something that people definitely assume about you. So anyway, okay, the Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. I'm like, honestly, I'm getting the vibe of like the cool like vodka aunt, you know, the cool wine aunt. Like that's the vibe you give me. The one that's kind of like, you know, always rushing off to new places, having new experiences, and then coming back at like Christmas or whenever, like whatever festive season there is, and just telling all of their cool stories and their new experiences. You're someone that's also very focused on personal development and self-growth. I think again that comes from the fact that you are so invested in yourself. That, you know, isn't to say that you don't care about other people and that you don't um take other people into consideration when you're thinking about your life and where you want it to go, but you're very, very um aware of yourself and aware of your trajectory, and like, I would say present in the experiences that you want out of life, and present in your life, just period. You're someone that is very focused on self-development and kind of evolving themselves and kind of growing into the best version of themselves, which is something that I'm seeing with the Wheel of Fortune. And people see you as very abundant. So again, I know I keep on referring to people see you, but like, this is what makes you unique, right? So like, you are a very abundant person. You have a very positive, very generous mindset. You are the kind of person that kind of is sharing their knowledge and their gifts. I see that you are someone that is quite wise as well, and someone that has a lot of gratitude for their life. You may have had some difficult situations in your past. You may have had to overcome adversity, but even if you haven't, there's just this kind of like carefree attitude about you. There's this kind of like sense of like, I'm grateful for what I have, and your gratitude is what makes you so unique and so warm and so kind of easy to approach. There's a sense that you can kind of blend into any situation that you're put into. You can integrate really well into whatever social circle that you've been thrust into, because you are someone that is just always willing to have new experiences and broaden your horizons and just learn. I'm getting the kind of like energy of someone that is a student, not in the literal sense, but just someone that is constantly trying to just, I keep on repeating myself, but get as much as they can out of life. You have this very jovial, very kind of like happy-go-lucky demeanor to you that really draws people into you. But there's also this sense of kind of, because like with the whole stuff I was saying about like being very carefree and lighthearted, um there's not the sense of you being childish. In fact, there's actually the opposite, where it's just kind of like, you are someone that people might respect in, because you kind of like command authority and respect, but not in the sense of like, oh, look, she is like my boss, or like the head of this company, or like just in a really advanced career position. It's more kind of like, you are someone that is very, or appears to be very sure of themselves. You kind of have this very strong presence, this very like big energy to you, where it's just kind of like people admire you for it and people look up to you for it. And also through the experiences that you're constantly pushing yourself to have, and your kind of individuality, you're not scared to kind of like push boundaries or try new things. People kind of just find your energy infectious. They want that. They want to hear your stories and your wisdom that you've gained from that. Again, I feel like I'm talking in circles. I am like not even looking at the cards. This is just like the vibe that I'm getting from you. Um but yeah, like there's just the sense of someone that is has just done a Sorry, I got interrupted and I'm trying to think where I left off. Okay, all right. I remember talking about you being abundant, and one thing that I'm getting from the Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune is, and also the Hierophant actually, is that you have this kind of sense to you where it's like you're so giving and you're so generous. You're not someone that is very concerned with your possessions. You might be very, like you might have a lot of possessions, you might be quite well off, you might be from a wealthy background, but even if you're not, I feel like you're someone that doesn't spend a lot of kind of time in like investment into making yourself look good or like your just clothes. Like you're not someone that will splurge on really expensive things on a regular basis. Not at all saying that you don't look good. I feel like again you have this very unique style to you. There's just this sense of someone like I don't want to like fall into that trope, but I just keep on getting like a very kind of bohemian, very kind of like um hippie sort of like just vibe to you, like just someone that travels a lot. And maybe that's kind of why like you're someone that might travel a lot for their career or just for their own personal enjoyment, and for that reason you're not someone that spends a lot of money on clothes that are potentially really uncomfortable. You're someone that will just kind of like always be in like your airport clothes, you know? We all have like our airport clothes. But anyway, there's this sense to you where it's just kind of like you are someone that is so giving and generous with their time, with their knowledge, with their experiences, and with their wisdom, and people are always looking up to you for that. And you're someone that is also seen as like a catalyst for bringing in that abundance to other people. So I can literally imagine the kind of like um trope of like you just I don't know, like you would be a really good cult leader. I'm getting that vibe. You have a charm to you that's very kind of like, because you're almost very untouchable, there's this sense to you where it's just like you can look but you can't touch. You can hear about my stories but you can't participate in them unless you're like willing to like ride at my own pace, or like willing to kind of keep up with my constantly changing lifestyle. And there's just this sense of like spiritedness to you. You have a very uniquely persevering and also uniquely just kind of untamable charm to you, but someone that is very kind of like aged beyond their years. So, yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. That was relatively short for my readings. And yeah, that's basically it. I am gonna conclude your reading. So, a very unique pile. I love this energy. Again, this screams Sagittarius to me. So, if you are a Sagittarian and you pick pile one, it doesn't matter your star sign, but like if you pick pile one, let me know because this is a really cool vibe. Bye! Hi. So if you picked pile 2, you picked Dalmatian Jasper, which is a really good stone for cultivating childlike happiness, childlike energy into your life, kind of being more happy-go-lucky about life and just feeling more present in the moment, more grateful for the experiences that you're having. It has a very positive energy to it. So if you feel like this is something that you want more of in your life or have been trying to manifest, then this is a really good stone for you. And let's get into your reading about what makes you unique. So we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Chariot, we have the Two of Pentacles. Please balance. All right. We have Judgment, we have the Sun, and we have the Lovers. Okay, I love the imagery for the Lovers card in this deck. Just this deck in general is so beautiful. I bought this like in September, and this reading I actually intended to do in September, so that kind of like gives you a little bit of an insight of like how much I've been postponing things and how like I just kind of got sidetracked, so I'm really sorry. But let's talk about what makes you unique now. So let's start off with the signs. We have, what do we have? We have the Knight of Swords, which is air signs, so Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. You've got the Chariot, which is Cancer. You've got Pentacles energy, which is earth signs, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You've got the Sun, which is Leo. Oh, it's not Leo, but I associate it with Leo. And you've got the Lovers, which is Gemini, and Judgment is nothing but, I like personally like to associate it with air. So, all right, you might have one of those placements in your natal chart or just have that kind of energy embodied in your personality. So, let's begin. So, first off, what I'm getting, I don't know why, but like maybe you have something to do with law or just something to do with equality. So maybe you're studying to be a law person, a lawyer, or you are involved with the law. Maybe you are someone that is involved with non-governmental organizations. I feel like you're someone that is very much an advocate for the underdog. So that's something that's quite unique about you, is that you might have a dedication to enforcing positive social change, or just kind of, someone that is very focused on helping out people's I can't get my words out, helping people out around them, and just kind of using your privilege to kind of bring people up from their circumstances. So that is something that I see about you. And I also see this kind of energy of like determination. There's a sense of determination about you, so that's kind of embodied to me by the Knight of Swords and the Chariot. There's this kind of sense of like you wanting to be a leader, but you're not quite there yet. You're like in the learning stages. You're like kind of a maverick. Like I kind of think of Tom Cruise from Top Gun. I'm pretty sure that I've used that reference before in one of my previous videos, but there's this kind of sense of like, not in like, I don't think you have his arrogance or his kind of you know just brazenness, but I feel like there's a sense to you where it's just kind of like you have a clear vision of where you want to go and a lot of determination to get there, and you're not someone that kind of is intimidated by your inexperience. You're very much someone that is kind of like, okay, maybe a more fitting example would be Hamilton. I know there's a lot of controversy around Hamilton the play, but just the character that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote for that, the kind of, coming from nothing and rising to like the very top position, one of the top positions in the United States for his time, which is like, if you guys have seen Hamilton, let me know in the comments down below and let me know what your favorite song is, because I know that that play is extremely problematic, but the soundtrack is unparalleled. Anyway, yeah, I just feel like you're someone that has this kind of sense of like, I'm not throwing away my shot, which is a Hamilton reference. You're someone that wants to has clear goals and wants to get there, and it's very kind of motivated from the sense that I'm getting from these cards by uplifting people. You have this kind of cause that you want to pursue, you have this cause that you want to enact, and you are trying to kind of fight your way to the top, albeit in maybe an unconventional way, which I'm getting from the Chariot, but you are very determined to get there. And that's something that's very unique about you. Probably just your selflessness, the fact that you want to succeed so you can help others succeed, which is something that a lot of people aren't really concerned with, and it's definitely an admirable trait to have. You have this kind of silent leader type quality to you, where it's just kind of like you're the one to watch. You are the underdog yourself, and maybe that's kind of part of your motivation for helping people and uplifting people. There's a sense to you where it's like you prioritize your kind of like relationships, your interactions with other people a lot. You are very kind of I would say, what's the word, non-judgmental. I know judgment is there, that's not what judgment represents. I think to me judgment represents more guidance than anything, but you have this sense to you where it's just kind of like you aren't someone that will assume anything about anyone. You aren't someone that will kind of box people into just boxes. Why can't I get my words out? You aren't someone to kind of categorize people. You're very willing and open-minded to, like, in terms of listening to people and hearing their stories, and very interested in what makes people them, and kind of, just trying to help them get to like a path of embetterment, like making them better people. God, I'm so sorry. Please bear with me. I am just trying to organize my thoughts. So, anyway, again, I feel like you're a very driven individual. You're someone that is constantly juggling multiple things. Maybe you are someone that has to work really hard to get to where you are. Maybe you are someone that has not, like, doesn't come from like a very wealthy socioeconomic background, or someone that hasn't had a lot of opportunities afforded to them earlier in life, but you are someone that has fought for them, and that's something that people get from you. And there's a sense of pride and contentment in where you have reached, but there's also this acknowledgement that you need other people, and you aren't the kind of person that will kind of step on people or like use people to get to where you want to go. You are very, that's kind of what I was trying to say when I meant that, like, you really value and prioritize the relationships and the connections that you make. And that's what I'm getting with the lovers. You're someone that's very kind of focused on their friendships. You're someone that's very uplifting to others. You're someone that may occasionally feel a little lost, even though you do have this very clear vision of where you want to go, which I would say, like, in this day and age is just very unique in itself, knowing what you want to do with your life, because there's so many options available to us, and it's really hard to kind of like narrow it down and find your calling. But I feel like you are someone that has a very strong resonance with um what it is that you're pursuing, whatever goal and ambition you have, and you definitely have what you need, or like the capabilities you need to kind of follow through. There's this duality to you as well, in the sense that you, again, like I was saying just a minute ago about like you maybe sometimes feeling a little lost, like you know where you want to go, but you don't exactly know how to get there, and that might cause feelings of anxiety. But you are so good at helping other people feel positive and feel like they have a clearer path, like they have a clear vision. And that's what I'm getting with the sun. You're someone that's very focused on cultivating positivity and empowering people. So again, like, I don't know, I'm thinking of Michelle Obama right now. Like, maybe you are someone, because she went to law school, didn't she? And then she, rose up the ranks. I don't know what it is with American politics. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking about that, because that is a whole mess. But yeah, no, like, maybe that's something that resonates with you. But you're someone that is very focused on uplifting other people, and that's extremely unique in my opinion. And you're constantly juggling between things. Sorry, I don't know if I like actually finish my points when I'm talking about them. But I feel like you might be someone that might be working multiple jobs, or having a part-time job, or just multiple commitments, trying to, like, if you're a student, multiple extracurriculars to kind of like boost your personal statement or your CV or whatever it may be, in order to help you get to where you want. But you are someone that is definitely on their way, and someone that just has a lot of kind of potential and ability, and that's very unique about you. I think people see someone that's very kind of like vivacious, and someone that's very determined to succeed, someone that has the potential to succeed and actually enact some change. And that is definitely something that people feel about you. That's the kind of energy that you have. But you do kind of follow the beat of your own drum, which is, again, something that I was saying before. Another thing that might be really unique about you is that you're very unconventional in the way that you pursue things. Maybe people sometimes, I don't know why, but I'm getting, sometimes people view you as a little scattered brained, a little disorganized, but there is a lot of kind of passion there, and a lot of like just energy, motivation to get where you need to go. And I think that's more important. You can be a disorganized mess and it's still extremely successful. So, that's a really positive thing that I'm seeing from you. And another thing that I'm seeing as well is, again, you may be like a kind of activist type. I'm getting very Aquarian and Aries energy. Like, that's really sticking out to me. In that you're quite like bold and quite someone that's not scared to try, someone that's not scared to kind of like push their boundaries and push themselves outside of their comfort zones, which is definitely like a unique thing about you as well. But you are someone that is very kind of like bright and sunny. You have this warm quality to you, which I know I said the same thing of Pal 1, but this is a very like different energy, because I feel like you're more focused on kind of like your end game or your visual of end game, whereas like pile one was more focused in the moment. And you are someone that is just always trying to cultivate positivity in their life. You are seen as like a very positive person to the people around you. Maybe people aren't really aware of the kind of struggle that you've been through, or aware of like the kind of, things that hold you back or your setbacks. I feel like you're not someone that kind of dwells on them too long, because your setbacks to you are just kind of obstacles to jump over. Um, like that's the kind of mentality that you seem to exude when you are trying to get to where you want to. I'm sorry I keep on talking about that, but like that's just something that I'm getting so strongly, is that you are just someone that has somewhere they are going and they're gonna get there. So, if that's a positive like affirmation for you, then take it. If there's a goal that you're willing like want to accomplish, you definitely can get there. But yeah, with the lovers as well, I feel like you're just someone, again, to me, I'm not really, I know the lovers, whenever the lovers comes up, people are always like, oh, like it's romantic, it's about like love relationships, and that could be for you. But for me, I'm getting more the vibe that you are someone that just sees the beauty in their life right now. Like, and like your experiences, maybe you have had difficult circumstances, but you see them as something that have aided your evolution and something that have made you the person that you have become, and you wouldn't trade that for anything else in the world, because it's just this kind of sense of like, well, if that hadn't happened to me, if the circumstances that I've been faced with in my life hadn't occurred, then would I be as driven and as passionate and as dedicated to what I am currently dedicated to now? It's that kind of energy. So you're very conscious of the fact that everything happens for a reason, everything has contributed to who you've become. And there's this sense of kind of like gratitude that I'm getting from you as well. And this kind of just drive and perseverance. I think those are the two kind of like main words that are coming through. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're someone that's very kind of like eco-conscious, or someone that's very, which, wonderful, like that is absolutely what we should all be doing, but someone that is very kind of invested in environmental concerns or social justice and advocating for that. So you just want to see everyone happy, and at the end of the day, you just want to see everyone have a greater living equality, greater financial equality, racial equality, you name it, just equality is key to you. So that is the kind of vibe I'm getting from you. But yeah, that is what makes you unique. So if that resonated, please let me know by leaving a comment down below, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi Pile 3, so if you picked the Angelite stone, Angelite is a really good stone for helping you connect with your intuition, for bringing you more peace and clarity, and helping with healing so any trauma that you might have, or just, like calming your emotions when you're having a really bad day, bringing you more inner peace and clarity. So if you feel like that's something you've been dealing with lately or needing more of, then this is a good stone for you. And now let's get into what makes you unique. So let's look at your cards. You have the Five of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands, and you have the Ten of Wands. Okay. So there is, all right, let me get into your star signs first. So you have some cups energy, which is water signs, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You've got Pentacles energy, which is earth signs, a lot of pentacle energy. So that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And you've got Wands energy, which is fire signs, so Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And yeah, all right. So you might have one of those placements in your natal chart. It doesn't have to be your sun sign, so yeah, just bear that in mind. Or these might be the energies that you kind of like operate in most of the time. But now that the introductory stuff is out of the way, let's get into your reading. So one thing that's, like strongly coming out from these cards is what's unique about you is your resilience. So it's kind of similar to Pile 2, but a little different in the sense that you're someone that I feel like definitely has had some kind of adversity in their life. I know that this is a general reading, so all of it may not resonate with you, but I just feel like this is a pile that strongly does have a sense of kind of having had to overcome adversity, or maybe you're going through a lot of adversity in your life right now, because Five of Pentacles usually talks about lack and just kind of, being in a crappy situation, maybe sometimes relationship struggles, or just having financial obstacles, financial struggles in your past. You've also got the Five of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, so maybe there's a lot to do with like your financial circumstances. Maybe that's something that you struggled with, or just, didn't come from a very wealthy background. But something about you is that, and again, this is kind of similar to Pile 2 in the sense that you both have these qualities of resilience and perseverance, but this is different in the sense of like Pile 2, in that you are someone that I feel like is very much a survivor. You're someone that doesn't get beaten down by anything, but has had a lot come their way. And I think something that's quite unique about you is your ability to get through it, your ability to weather through the storm, your ability to still stand up and like wake up every day and just be like, you know what, whatever life throws at me or whatever crappy situation I'm going through right now, I am gonna put in the hard work, as shown by the Eight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, I realize I haven't been like showing any of my cards, and I know that like the glare of the lights is kind of blocking the imagery, but just bear with me. With the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like you're someone that puts in a lot of hard work, which is similar to Pile 2. Again, there's just a lot of similarities going on here, so if you feel like Pile 2 is something that also resonated with you or caught your eye, then definitely go check that out. But this is, I feel like the energy of this pile is much more heavier. Like, you've just had it seems like a rough time, and there's this, concern over your finances as well. Maybe you're someone that has a lot of ambition and wants to succeed financially and wants to kind of create a very stable, very secure, financially secure life for yourself. So that is another thing that's coming through, but you truly value your circumstances. You're someone that's very hardworking and very willing to put in the energy and effort to get where you want to go, or to just, survive, if that's your main goal, because I feel like there is just a huge kind of like survivor energy here. You're kind of someone that knows how to make adversity your like bitch, basically, or someone that knows how to kind of overcome it and just really use that to your advantage. There's something very transformative about this pile where it's like, I don't, what character is coming into my mind right now? I just feel like, okay, I can't think, like, it was there and it's gone, and hopefully you'll come back. But there's just this kind of like trope, of the character that has just had kind of like the short end of the stick in their life, and they still, like grow up to be extremely successful or grow up to be extremely guarded, but just very kind of like abundant in the sense that they've worked very hard for what they've got. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to like articulate my thoughts with this pile, especially, and maybe that's just because you've struggled a lot. Um, but yeah, that is extremely unique about you, that you're hardworking, that you are someone that's not scared of adversity. In fact, you are so familiar with it, and I think people really admire your strength and ability to just get on with it and just go through the motions and just get where you want to go. You're, again, like the transformative nature about you as well. I think there's this unique sense of, and I know this is probably going to sound a little negative, but it's actually something that people find quite magnetic about you, that I'm getting. And with the Knight of Pentacles, I mean, you are a charmer. The Knight of Pentacles is someone, sorry, Knight of Wands is someone that is very kind of like, charming, very not committed to anything, has a lot of passion projects, is always constantly coming in and out of new things. They're very hard to tie down, but there is this undeniable charisma about them, and that is another thing that's quite unique, to you as well. I think people can right off the bat sense that there's a strength of character to you. And again, like when I said you're not someone that lets adversity get you down, you have this sense about you that's very kind of like commanding, very like wise, very, what's the word, very just like, you're not trusting. That's not the vibe I'm getting. Not someone that's easily trusting. I think you might be a little bit of like a commitment phobe, in the sense that, you know, you really like to weigh out your options completely before you commit to them. And I think that's something that, again, people are drawn to and find unique about you. And like, it's more kind of like, you know, if the harder you are to get, the more attractive people find you. Which is like messed up, but like that's a thing. So I feel like that's another thing that I'm getting here as well. There's a lot of focus on yourself and just building yourself up and building yourself to the point in your life that you want to get to. So that is something else that I'm seeing. But again, sorry, where I was going with my initial point, like I'm kind of getting Scorpio energy just a little bit here, or Capricorn energy. But with the Five of Cups, I'm also feeling like, well, the Five of Cups traditionally speaks about someone that is not seeing the amazing things that they have in their life and are kind of more focused on their loss and their grief. But that's actually not at all what I'm getting with this like pile, because I feel like you are conscious of the things that you've had to go through, but you aren't someone that, although it's probably made you a little more guarded, which is kind of shown to me by the Four of Pentacles, you are someone that is still very kind of like, well, I just lost my train of thought. I don't know why this is happening to me in this pile. Um, you are someone that is willing to like push yourselves forward. You're not gonna cry over spilt milk. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. There's just, again, like I don't know how to explain it other than strong. I feel like there's also this intimidating quality to you, which is quite unique. And people find that very unique. Like they're intrigued by you. But another thing that I'm seeing, another thing that I'm sensing, I'm also getting like the sad boy, sad girl kind of like vibe from this, like Lana Del Rey's, you know, Pretty When I Cry, like that kind of vibe almost as well, but like, and Money, Power, and Glory. Like I'm feeling Lana Del Rey's Ultraviolence album. That's the vibe I'm getting from you. Because the Five of Cups, as I was saying before, talks about crying over spilt milk, essentially. And I feel like you're not the person that cries over spilt milk, but you are the kind of person that is hiding a lot of kind of like grief and a lot of like unresolved issues that you've probably had from not having, sorry, had from having been through these difficult experiences. But you are someone that puts on a strong face and a strong facade, and maybe that's why you're a little like flighty, as shown by the Knight of Wands, because you're someone that is just kind of moving on to new things, trying to like engage yourself so you don't dwell on the negative aspects of your life so much, which is a really endearing quality, and something that people admire about you as well. But yeah, the Five of Cups, I just feel like you have this kind of energy where it's like you're still trying to heal and nurture the things that you've been through. Nurture the parts of you that were affected by the things that you've been through. But you will always kind of put on a good facade and put on like the facade of being happy. But the thing is, the thing that I'm trying to get at that is unique about you is that people can kind of sense that you are someone that has been through a lot, and despite whatever you may show externally, and people can kind of really see how that has kind of seeped into your character, and that you are, you know, there's just been a lot of character development, a lot of like character building, a lot of strength building, which I know I keep on repeating, but like that is the main thing that's coming out of this reading is just strength. I haven't even got to the Ten of Wands yet, but there's just a lot of strength, and you are someone that is, again, like I just feel like a very paternal, like parental figure. You're always kind of like looking out for other people. You're not really that kind of open with the hard experiences that you've had, and people can sense that you've been through all this stuff, but the fact that you aren't willing to open up about it adds to the intrigue that you have. Like there is this kind of air of sadness around you, but it's not something that you it's something that you can't control, because I feel like you're the kind of person where it's like, if you could manage that, if you could control that energy, you wouldn't show it, but it does seep out nonetheless, and people actually get drawn to you because of that. So, yeah. Anyway, going on to the Ten of Wands, another thing that I see about you as well, again, very caring piles that we've got here, very caring people, so that's wonderful. It's nice to know my viewers are good people. But the Ten of Wands, that's representing to me, again, firstly, that your life has kind of been an uphill battle. You are someone that, again, it's just reiterating the fact that you are someone that is not afraid of struggle. In fact, you embrace it just because it is very familiar, but the fact that, like, you are willing to take on other people's burdens, you are willing to help out and carry the burdens of other people that are close to you, people that you care about. I'm getting the sense that you are very selective with the people that you surround yourself with, but when you do surround yourself with people, like, you are extremely caring. And I think there's this craving for, like, the people that don't know you to kind of have access to this inner circle that you have, so they just feel like there's this kind of unique perspective, this unique strength that you can show to people, and they want to be guided by you, which is really nice. And with the Ten of Wands, again, it's just kind of like this vibe of, like, I don't know how that person never gives up. You know, like, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again and have repeated myself for 15 minutes now, but, just bear with me. This is a wonderful thing to have. I mean, it's a very unique quality. Perseverance is rare. I think it's very hard not to get disheartened when you don't achieve something or when you face a setback, and this is definitely an indicator of long-term success, because you do need resilience. You do need the ability to overcome failure and just even embrace failure. So I would even go as far as to say that there is this courage about you, this kind of silent courage. Um, but yeah, with the Ten of Wands, again, I just feel like I know I keep on talking about end goals, like I talked about that with pile 2 as well. But you are someone that is going places, you are someone that is determined and adamant that you will weather the storm and get through this phase of your life that may be difficult for you, or have gotten through that phase of life that has been difficult for you, and you're still going. So yeah, that's what's unique about you. Please let me know if that resonated, and if it did, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Hi, pile 4. So if you picked Sunstone, this is your pile. So Sunstone is a really good stone for abundance, for manifestation, for enhanced creativity, for positivity, and it's very similar to Dalmatian Jasper in my opinion, but it's more focused on just kind of creation and positivity and just bringing more abundant experiences into your life. So if you feel like this is something that you want more of, or this resonates with you, then this is the pile for you. And stone for you, sorry. So let's get into your reading. You have the King of Swords, you have the Nine of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords, you have the Fool, I love that card, you have the Seven of Swords, and you have the Two of Wands. Okay. This is kind of a similar energy. You know what? Like, all the energies have kind of bled into each other in this reading. I feel like this is a combination of pile 2 and 3. So if those piles resonated with you, then it might be worth checking them out. But let's talk about what makes you unique right after I go through the signs. I don't know why I always forget to, like, cover that. But you have the King of Swords and the Seven of Swords, which is air signs, and the Ten of Swords, so a lot of air. So that's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. You've got the Nine of Wands and the Two of Wands, which is, well, fire signs. So that's Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Okay. And the Fool to me is Aries. So yeah. Anyway, it's not, like, traditionally associated with Aries, but to me it's always been an Aries card, so yeah, let's get into your reading. So this is again, like I said, a combination of like pile 2 and pile 3, in my opinion. I feel like there's a very mischievous, like very kind of like sneaky, cheeky quality to you. That's something that makes you quite unique. I feel like you're a very quick-witted person, a very well-humored person. I feel like you're someone that gets along with a lot of people, very sociable, just someone that is very like laid back in a sense, but also there's this sense of kind of like clumsiness and ditziness to you, something very kind of like almost childlike. You have a very youthful quality to you, and that makes you unique, but at the same time, there is this kind of like quality to you where it's just kind of like with the King of Swords, I feel like you're more intellectual than people initially pick up on. You're more smarter than people think, and I feel like you're very diplomatic. Again, that ties into the fact that like I mentioned that you are very laid back and very sociable. I feel like you're very good at kind of like blending in with different crowds, and very versatile and very adaptable. And you're someone, I feel like you have a very kind of easygoing energy to you as well. With the Two of Wands, I'm kind of getting that there's this kind of like confusion. I feel like you don't really have a clear, like, this isn't a criticism in any way. This is not a bad thing, but I feel like there's more kind of like an openness. So I guess this is more similar to Pal 1 in this respect, but there's this kind of openness to the possibilities that you have and this kind of indecisiveness as to what you want to commit to, just because you have a lot of options. You have a lot of doors open to you. I feel like you're like a jack of all trades. You have a lot of kind of strengths, and it's very difficult for you to decide what to channel them into, and so you're kind of like just enjoying life. And I do feel like that kind of, I mean, I'm getting the sense that it does cause you a little bit of anxiety, because you are someone that would maybe like to be recognized a little more for their intellect and a little more for the great skills that they have. I feel like it's the case where it's like you have so many, and people just kind of are more focused on your kind of like laid back or sociable demeanor, that they don't necessarily pick up on your strengths as much, or are more kind of like focused on your qualities. Or just because you have like this very childlike, youthful joy to you, people may not take you as seriously. But you know, they are in for a surprise with the Seven of Swords. I feel like you are kind of like a firecracker, like a slow burn, like, you know, you're, wait, those are two completely contradictory things, but I feel like you're a slow burner that's going to turn into a firecracker, because people are entirely wrong in their assumption of you, in that you are a very talented person. That's what I'm getting from your pal. You just have so many things that you're good at that it's very hard to showcase all of your talents at once, and I think that's the issue. But yeah, with the King of Swords again, so you are someone that is very objective. You are someone that I'm getting a kind of Libra energy from you. You are someone that is kind of like Libra might be a strong presence in your chart, but you are someone that has this unique way of just kind of like bringing people together, bringing kind of different viewpoints together. You have this kind of sense to you where it's just like, where are my words? You have this kind of sense to you where it's like you can diffuse difficult situations with ease. There is this kind of charm to you as well, so that's another unique attribute. But you have this kind of like vibe where it's like you can really, like, I think what I'm trying to say here is that people are really unaware of the influence and the sway you have over the situations you fall into. And I think that's kind of like what kind of brings in this sneakiness about you, is that people don't understand how much influence you have. Maybe you're very good at manipulating people, which I know doesn't sound like a positive thing, but it doesn't have to be like extreme manipulation, but you're very good at like convincing people to do things that you want to do, and that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. You're very good at talking your way out of situations. And people are so unassuming because you have this very kind of like innocent, very like naive vibe to you, someone that can sometimes seem a little clumsy, or someone that seems like a little frantic or like scattered, but actually you're calling the shots. And I feel like you're not someone that wants to come, even though I said you want to be taken more seriously, I feel like that is the kind of vibe that I'm getting there. It's not that people don't respect you, they do, but I feel like you just, you're not like as willing to kind of like give up the charade. Like, you don't really want people to know the extent to which you have control over situations and agency. You have this kind of like, I just want to go by unnoticed, do my thing, and just, you know, like enjoy myself kind of vibe, which is great. So what else is unique about you? Again, the Ten of Swords. So from the Ten of Swords, I haven't talked about that yet. With the Ten of Swords, I'm seeing that you are someone that, again, like, I know this isn't, the image doesn't really talk about like being sneaky, but I feel like you're someone that, it talks more to the fact, to the thing I was saying about you are someone that is like, what's the right word? Like, you're running a marathon, right? This is the example I'm going to use. You're running a marathon and everyone thinks that you're going to finish last, and they don't shame you for it. There's no like shame in it, because like everyone loves you. You have this very lovable quality to you, but everyone's like, yeah, they're bound to finish last. I'm pretty sure they'll finish last, and you end up pulling out at first, like in first place, and like actually winning the marathon. I think that's the kind of vibe I get from you. But it as well, like, I feel like this is so contradictory. I feel like I'm saying multiple like contradictory things. There's another thing that is unique about you, is that even though you do have the sense of kind of like calling the shots, or like holding a lot of sway, holding a lot of like charm, and like getting people to do what you want them to do, there's also this like energy of just kind of like, you are just naturally lucky. And I think that's something unique about you, is that you just stumble into situations and things just tend to work out for you, which is wonderful. And I think, again, that's kind of why you find it so hard to like make a decision and commit to something, because it's just kind of like, in terms of like what you want to do with your life, or like, you know, just decisions, you might be a little indecisive. But like that indecision kind of leads you to exploring different options, and then just ending up finding what's best for you. I feel like things kind of tend to fall into your lap. Again, I'm not finishing my sentences completely. I'm sorry, words are just coming out now. But yeah, like, things tend to like just fall into your lap, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, like, you seem to be a very lucky person and attract lots of wonderful opportunities to yourself. So that's another thing that I'm seeing that's quite unique to you. Like, you have this kind of energy that just attracts amazing like opportunities to you, that they just kind of like fall into your lap. I'm gonna stop saying that now. But like, yeah, I think that's why you find it so hard to like pick an option. And even though you may oscillate between like having a little bit of anxiety or frustration over that, over like the indecision, you just kind of have this sense of like, okay, well, I know it's all gonna work out for me, and the world is quite literally in my hands, and it's okay. Like, I just need to like just walk in whatever direction I choose, and I'm sure I'll get somewhere. That's the kind of energy that I'm feeling from the Fool as well. But another thing with the King of Swords that I wanted to talk about is that you, I feel like, again, are also quite well read. I don't know why I'm getting that, like, you, like I said, this ties into like the whole you being very intellectual and people not giving you enough credit for that, but like you not really caring, because I feel like another thing that's unique to you is like, you have confidence in your abilities. You don't need other people's validations or other people's kind of like reassurance that you are seen in this way, because it's like, well, I am what I am. And I think actually you're not even that concerned with the way that you are like viewed, or the way that you view yourself. Like, I feel like that's not something that you pay a lot of attention to, and you're more kind of just like, I just want to go through life enjoying it, which was an energy that I picked up in pile one. But like, it's different in this sense. I feel like pile one was a little more carefree than you are. I feel like you do want some sense of direction, but there's also this kind of like quiet confidence where it's like, it's okay, things will work out and it will be fine. So Yeah, that's the majority of what I'm getting. I think this is a very lovely, youthful energy. I'm feeling like you're a bubbly person. I'm feeling like you're quite charming, and I'm feeling like, yeah, you just don't get enough credit for the overwhelming amount of talent that you have. So that is your overall reading, and if it resonated, please be sure to let me know by leaving a comment down below and subscribing to stay tuned for future videos. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!